First ever video. Welcome to
TA Sports.
Sports.
Let's get it. Our predictions.
Welcome, guys. My name's Tarquin. Everyone calls me Tarko. Yeah. And we got here.
I'm Aaron. Everyone calls me Dunny. AA Run.
There we go. AA Run. Join us on this video for our predictions of the bottom 10 of the AFL ladder at the end.
Not just this video on the bottom 10, but this journey, this 2021 Premiership AFL season. We're going to have our predictions. We're going to have our round-to-round tips. Hope everyone is interested. It's going to be very exciting for us. This is our first time doing it. Let's get it started.
Let's go. Let's kick it off. Okay. You can kick it off, AA Ron. Your 18th team. Who's it going to be?
The Wooden Spoon. No one likes to get this. My favorite team, the Crows, got it last year. Very heartbroken about that. But this year we're passing it off. We're giving it to North Melbourne. Don't see North Melbourne competing this year. Very sorry to all the North fans. They do have a few exciting prospects. Obviously, we've got the Stevenson coming into the team from Collingwood.
100%.
So I feel like he's going to have a big year with them, but it's looking kind of dark and cloudy over there. Yeah, that's my 18. I don't really have much to say about North. I feel like they're going to play, they're going to lose. They're going to get a few surprise wins throughout the season against the bottom teams, but yeah, wooden spoon for them. What about you?
My wooden spooner, probably the same. It is the same, really. It's the Kangaroos. No sugarcoating it. Rip the Band-Aid off. You're getting a wooden spoon, Kanga fans. Sorry about that, guys. You can't make 12 to 14 list changes and lose that much experience in Higgins and all those other players and not affect your performance in the next year. The coach is a plus. Came from a good system. He knows what it takes to rebuild a club when he was with Fags up in Brisbane. But yeah, don't see much happening down at North other than getting experience into the young kids, really. So they're my 18th. Who's your 17th? AA Ron.
We're the pride of South Australia. It is my boys, the Crows. So I do dream that the Crows make the top 8 and win a premiership, but that dream is not this year. We're going to have to postpone that one, boys. Crows finishing 17th. There was a lot of excitement that I saw from them last season before the end. They did upset Carlton. Great game. Watched every second of it. But yeah, Crows, another slow season. Fingers crossed they make me look silly for putting him so high up to the wooden spoon. But yeah, Crows 17 for me. Young team, got to find their structure. They do have potential. Very young side. Who knows? Rebuilding phase. They've had a lot of clearing from the ladder of their top management area. So who knows if that's going to make a change, a difference. They need their leaders to stand up this season. Big Tex, we need him to come out firing. A lot of scrutiny this last few seasons. Obviously passing off his captaincy. We've got Rory Sloane, my boy. He needs a big season as well. Hopefully we stay away from injuries and yeah, who knows? Maybe we do make an impact, but I just don't see it, unfortunately. What about you, sir?
Me, I've got the Crows also. Same as last year, still rebuilding, still finding their identity. And then obviously they've got the game plan they're trying to master with the new coach. The positives, they're going to get games into the younger guys. They're going to see which guys are up to the standard, which is important. But yeah, I just don't see them, breaking out of the bottom 4 this season. So sorry about that, Crows fans. Sorry, AA Ron. It's going to be
apology accepted.
Bit of a lean year for you, Crows boys. Who's your number 16? This season?
Number 16, no surprise, the Suns. What can I say about them? They just need to find their feet. They've come into the AFL. They've had a few promising I guess, season starts where they've come out blazing, won 3-4 games. Everyone's getting, behind them. Unfortunately, last season, injury to Rao. He's back round one. Hopefully he has a big year. Just take off the pressure off him. Just get a good first win round one against West Coast, really. But other than that, yeah, I just don't see the Suns. They don't have that full list you can be confident about that can damage those teams. Preseason, signs of that I was impressed with, but also there was a lot of holes. So I think they're going to be very cold and chilly up there on the ladder at 16. What about you?
Me, it's going to be a surprise. A few of the supporters won't like to hear this, but unfortunately, I got Essendon number 16, bottom 4 this year.
Wow.
Essendon been a bit of a rabble last year with the handover of the new coach from Worsfold to Truck. So yeah, they've got to learn a new game plan. The game plan I think needs tweaking. Structure-wise, I don't see where certain players are going to be playing. I heard rumblings that Hooker was going to go in the back line and Hurley was going to go up forward to mix it up a bit, obviously because I lost Joey Danaher, which is a big loss, and a
massive loss
in regards to their structure. But obviously Hurley's injured now. They're just lacking identity. The Bombers, they're a hard team to predict if they're going to win week in, week out for me. But that's why I got them at 16 this year.
Wow,
who's your 15th team?
15th. This team, I just don't see him. No, same thing. Fremantle, they lack forward line. I mean, at the moment, injuries really plaguing them. Michael Walters, such an exciting player out of that team at the moment. There was games we saw a few seasons ago when he was kicking winning goals and Freo were about, but they're just a shadow of that team. I see them struggling this season, especially in the games against teams that do know how to score. I feel like keeping up with them is going to be hard for them. They do have great midfield. They do have great players. I just don't see them being a great team at the moment. So I've got them up there. Not a surprise to me. Going to be another gloomy season for them as well.
Yeah, fair enough. For me, 15, I've got the Swans. This year is a bit of a passing of the baton year for the older bloods to the younger ones. They got a good young core of players under 25, which will hold them in good stead in the later years, in the coming years. But just at this moment in time, they're still rebuilding, finding form and keeping that form might be the issue for them this year, and stringing maybe games and wins together. So that's why I got them at 15. What about you? Who's your 14th team?
14, we got the Navy Blues. So
Navy Blues.
This is do or die for me this season for the Blues. They've been that team for the last 10 years that just haven't really made an impact. The last few seasons have seen a bit of excitement, I do feel sorry for the Blues fans getting their hopes up. They came out strong and then kind of died off again at the end of the season. Obviously, big years from Cripps, Walsh, the same usual suspects. I feel like Carlton you don't really know what you're going to get with them. I'm hoping they have a great season, but I feel like Cripps is going to get a awakening and leave the club, go to a Western Australian team. So big call there.
Huge prediction.
I feel like Freo will benefit him more. Carlton, no, they won't do anything differently this year. They do have a few good recruits, so I guess we're just going to have to see how that plays out. Might be Eddie Betts last season as well. He's still going, so that's a notable one. Might try to send Eddie off with one last season, make finals, but sorry, Eddie, not this year, mate.
Fair enough. For me, I got for 14, I got the Hawks. They're a bit of an enigma for me, Hawthorn. You don't know what's happening behind closed doors there. They got the genius in Alistair Clarkson at the helm still, so anything can happen. They do have a young list and a lot of players that are still unproven. They got a young, a good core midfield in Amira, Mitchell, Warple, and they got that old head in Shields there. They lost Gunston, which is huge because he was a leading goal kicker last year. I just think they're going to be entertaining, the Hawks. They're going to figure out some of the better teams, but they're also going to lose to some of the teams that they should beat, or maybe teams in the bottom four. So they're just too hot and cold, and you don't know what you're going to get from Hawthorn each week. So I got them 14.
13. So I've got Sydney Swans. Buddy Franklin not playing round one. Who knows when he'll be back? We're hoping. Well, I'm not hoping round 2 against the Crows, but if he does come back into the team, we'll definitely bolster them. They spent a lot of money on him. He's one of the all-time great forward-line players when he was at his peak. Goal of the years, crushing the Crows. Outstanding player. So I feel like they really do need him back in the side. Sydney Swans is another package. You never know what you're going to get. They've got great midfield players with Lloydie and Parks. But, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I do rate them 13. So who knows? Could go higher, could go lower.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
Definitely. My 13th team, I got the Suns, the Gold Coast Suns. Still young. Longer season probably doesn't help them, as the last 2 seasons have shown that they've fallen off a cliff towards the end of the regular season. Each season they've gone 0-6 of the last 6 games. So yeah, having a longer season probably doesn't help. It's an extra preseason under the belt of some of the younger kids and some promising prospects in Noah Anderson. And the coach has found his feet. But yeah, if Matty Rowell stays fit, he's a huge in for the Suns, as we've seen last season when he played in those 3 games that they won, when he polled 3 votes for each game and kicked goals, multiple goals in some games, and then just racking them up. So he's a real key, and it's good to see him back, having a good preseason and ready to hit the ground running this season. But yeah, I just got them being able to start off well in the season and maybe tapering off down the end of the season. So I got them at 13. What about you?
Number 12. So this team is on a downward spiral.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting.
Collingwood. Sorry, Collingwood supporters.
Oh no.
Yeah, just all the drama coming in from preseason, losing significant players, missing side bottom round 1, versus Doggies. Tough game for them, I feel, coming in. Trelaw goes to Doggies, has a point to prove. I feel like Collingwood lose round 1, they lose round 2. I feel like it's just going to be a downward spiral.
They got a tough first 5 rounds. I think they got West Coast in there as well. So it's make or break, I think, the first 5 rounds for the Pies.
I feel like they start bad, very bad, downward spiral. Buckley under pressure. I feel like coming midway through the season, they might pick their game up a bit, might start silencing a few haters. But yeah, I just feel that they're just going to start icy cold.
Cold pies, eh?
Buckley,
still frozen.
Cold pies. No one likes the cold pie.
Fair enough. Yeah, for me, number 12, same team. I see them dropping out of the 8 and finishing 12 Pies. There's a lot of pressure, like you said. The whole club lost Eddie. There's a microscope on the club at the moment. The Lumumba saga and that going on, De Goey's court cases and etc. Yeah, just a lot of focus and a media attention around. They are the biggest club in the land, so yeah, with that comes media attention. So there's going to be pressure on there, and like I said, talked about before, their first 5 rounds is tough. I don't think they get past the Dogs round 1. The Blues will be a test, but the thing going for them is they've got a healthy list. Maybe side bottom, and then Taylor Adams coming in under Dunn this season. But if they get them games under their belts, they're pretty good. They still got that core nucleus of midfield that's still pretty strong. Got up and coming Dacos coming up on the wings, which will be good. But I just see there's a lot of pressure on them, and defensively they're a really sound team, and which might keep them in games, which might be able to allow them to win games. But just against the teams with lots of firepower, they'll struggle to kick a winning score. I think their forward line's a little bit lacking in presence with the tall forward. Myercheck is, I think, going to be their number one tall forward. So that's not going to put them in good stead for me. So I see them finish 12. What about you? Who's 11 for you?
11. We've got the Bombers. So Bombers are one of those teams as well. You know, they can win the close games. They can lose the close games. They've been their own worst enemy over the last years. They had a final stint. Haven't really seen them back up there ever since all those years ago. I don't know. I just see the loss of Joey Danaher so massive for them. Obviously, they want to put Hurley forward and Hooker in the back line. So hopefully that maybe helps them.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they need to put the foot on the throat this season if they're going to have any chance of making the top 8. You know, they need to kind of just keep those winning scores. But it's just so hard. They've lost a lot of key players. It's damaged them a lot. Just going to have to see how they take that into the season, if they can adapt to it, or if they really you do see that they are struggling with those little holes in the loop. But they need Tip and Woody to step up, the X factor. They need everyone to step up in this game. They need Hurley back into the side to kind of get them going. But yeah, 10th for me. That's even for me personally is giving them more credit than they're worth.
Bit generous, eh? Bit generous that 10th.
Generous. What about you? Who's number 10?
Number 10 for me. I probably would have had them higher, but only because of the injury list. I do rate this team a lot, and I think there's a lot to like about Freo in regards to their young kids that are coming up. Brayshaw, Chera, Tabernar's finally found his feet up forward. Good coach, kind of defensive mindset kind of game, so which will keep him in games. Defensive structure, good game plan. I think with what they have, their personnel, probably similar to Collingwood, can't kick a winning score, and will rely a lot on their defense. But if they can get Fife up and running through the forward line as a more 70 or 60-40 kind of playtime between forwards and midfield might help them. Obviously, Walters is huge. The defense, they've got a good defense. It's underrated, very, very much so in regards to Luke Ryan. I think he made an All-Australian squad from memory last year, or he might even made it. So he's a good player. They got Hamling back. They get Hamling back there as well. Ex-2016 Doggies Premiership defender, so they'll help as well. But yeah, if they didn't have the injury list that they have at the moment, I would have them higher. But I got Freo 10th. Starting off slow, probably picking it up middle towards the end as well of the season. What about you? Who's your lucky last? Or not lucky last, number 9.
My 10th.
In the bubble.
I haven't listed my 10th.
Oh, you haven't done your 10th. Okay, sorry.
So
jumped the gun there.
I've got the Giants.
Okay.
So for me, they've got such a massive engine room. Giants. Obviously they've got Ward, big captain Stephen Cornelio. He has to have a huge season. He's been a bit quiet the last few years, but he needs to really stand up and rally his troops. You got Hopper, Kelly, list goes on. Toby Green up in the forward. It's going to be interesting year for them. I feel like they will just miss out. They definitely can compete, but they're a shadow, like I said, with a few other teams of their old selves. They really did miss their opportunity in the finals. I see them weaker, not stronger. So I do have them out of the top 8 this year. Just the teams I have in there, I just see have more potential. So who knows
The team
though?
on
Maybe
paper for Giants looks really good. Obviously losing Jezza doesn't help.
massive out.
No.
But yeah, they're my number 10.
So for my number 9, the bubble is the Demons. I know it's contentious, but I think, look, the Demons from 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10, you can go in any order, but I see the Demons just missing out this year because, you know, the best is top 8 form, but their worst is bottom 6 form. It's ridiculous. The gap between their best and worst is so wide. It's crazy. Last year they should have made the 8, but they lost the Swans and Freo in the later rounds, and then obviously needed some games to go their way to make the 8. But yeah, like that's an example where their best wasn't able to beat the Swans when they needed to make finals. They got the right players in the right positions. Get that natural progression as well. Obviously, they got Gorn as a captain. Petrarca stepped up last season, showed everyone and the competition what he can do. Oliver's there, he's reliable. Brayshaw, I don't know where they got to find a spot for him because he's a good player, but he just, I don't know, since 2018 where he came 3rd in the Brownlow, he's just dropped off from there. They got Jack Viney, heart and soul, but I think their defense is really good and will be underrated in the early stages. I think they got probably the top 3 1-2 punch with Lever and Stephen May. Stephen May was pretty stiff last year for an All-Australian squad selection. He wasn't even in the squad last year. I think he makes it this year and goes one better and grabs a jacket, an All-Australian jacket. And Lever coming back, he's found a bit of confidence in his body. So I think the Demons could possibly be 7th, but I've got them finishing 9th. Just.
I've got the Demons 9th as well. Team on paper, they're a finals team. I have them just missing out. I feel like they're going to lose that game to make it this season. Really unfortunate for them. Obviously, like you said, Lever, May in the back line. They've got Oliver in the midfield, Petrarca. They've got in the forward line some great players as well.
Oh yeah, we missed that on Ben Brown. That's right. That's Ben Brown. He's injured.
Massive.
So the injury of Ben Brown might be huge. But once he's up and running, he could be really, really key for them.
Exactly what they need, I think. Ben Brown up there when he comes back from injury. Very unfortunate preseason. He did get injured. They've got Bailey Frisch at the moment, Tom McDonald stepping up hopefully, for them in the forward line. Who knows? I think an interesting player which I would like to see have a big year is Pickett. Just like some aggressive tackling, pressure, turnovers, that real X factor for them. So hopefully he has a big season, and who knows, they may make the top 8. I've got them missing out. The 10 to 7 really, really close. So yeah, that's our 18 to 9. Very
Thanks
interesting.
for watching, everyone. It's going to be an interesting season. Keep an eye out for our next video for the top 8 ladder predictions for the 2021 AFL season.
If you guys disagree with us as well, let us know in the comments what you think. If you think that we've made some harsh, obviously, predictions on your club, why you think they're not going to make it, or why you think they are going to make it. We're very happy to listen and read the comments. It's going to be a great season. We're looking forward to it. Next video, we'll be doing our top 8 to 1. Who we're going to pick for our premiership favourites, who's going to take it out, minor premiers. Stay tuned.
And also the awards as well. Those awards like Rising Star Coleman, even our Brownlow prediction. Might be able to make some money off those, hopefully. So yeah, we'll see you in the next video, guys. Like, subscribe. Appreciate all the support.
Love it.
Peace.
Take it easy.